What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Virzi Effect Podcast Show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys listening to episode 541. I don't know what that makes on the YouTube. Eventually, one of these days, we'll find out that answer. It's almost like an ongoing thing now. How the hell is everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well in between shows. Got a good show for you, so sit back, relax, wherever you may be, in your car, on your treadmill, on an airplane, wherever the fuck you're at. Sit back and listen to another episode of TVE. And just spoke to a pilot who said they were listening at 37,000 feet. So how about that? Listening to my dumb ass while you have a bunch of souls on board that you have to make sure live. So if you're flying a plane right now, listening to this, enjoy it. Don't get distracted too bad when you see the UFO, because I know that shit happens too. Going to get into that, but a lot of stuff to talk about, everybody, today on TVE. Again, I'm flying solo because I'm about to go on a very, very big podcast tour, promoting my new special, Nocturnal Admissions. Nocturnal Admissions will be out this month, and I am going to make a huge announcement on that, but it's pretty much going to come week of. But if I said this month, you know it's not that far away. And I'm going to be going on a bunch of podcasts. I'm going to be talking to a bunch of people people and podcasts that you probably were saying have on TVE. Well, I'm going to do that on their show because of the special. So you got me flying solo again. But let's be honest. You like when I'm flying solo, talking a bunch of shit while you're hanging out. You, yourself, your girl, whoever. It's Pride Month. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Maybe not your girl, maybe whatever it is. Sorry. I don't want to get canceled because I said you're hanging with your girl. You could be hanging with your boy. You could be a girl hanging with your girl. You could be a boy hanging with your boy. Oh, I said boy and girl. That could get me in trouble too. You could be a woman with your woman, a man with your man. I don't know. I'm sorry. Whatever it is. Okay. I don't even know what to say anymore. Pretty soon podcasts are just going to be this. So nobody gets in trouble. We're just going to stare into cameras for fucking an hour. We're going to do a staring contest and then leave, because Lord knows what we're going to be able to say in 5 years. I swear to God, what will freedom of speech look like in 5 years? Freedom of speech. You're going to be like, yeah, man, I was watching the Giant game. Why'd you call them Giants? You know, that's not politically correct. That's the team in blue. Okay. That's what we got. Every team now is just going to be the color. You know, you're playing the teal team down in Miami. You're playing the green team in New York. The New York Football Blues will be the Giants. The green team will be the Jets. I mean, who knows what the fuck you're going to be able to talk about. But before I get started and before I get into this week's episode, I would like to thank everybody who came out to the Atlanta Punchline. I was at the Atlanta Punchline last Friday and Saturday, did 5 shows, and I want to thank all the fans that came out. There were some loyal TVE fans. There were some Anything Better fans. There were some old school fans of mine. So I want to thank everybody who did come out there. There was one show in particular which was wild. Let's just say it was drunk, it was rowdy, and I don't know. It just turned into a wild thing, which then turned into a standing ovation by some freaking, I don't know how, but it ended up being an amazing time. But all the shows were fantastic. I had a really good time, as I always do in Atlanta. The people of Atlanta are fantastic, and the Punchline is great. I should be back there. I'll be back there after the special is out, but want to thank everybody, man. And the fans that talked to me afterwards, the loyal fans that I spoke to, means the world. I love talking to you guys. I love having you guys out at the shows. So there you go. That's Atlanta, and we got some other stuff coming up next, which will be announced at the end of this podcast. I will talk about the upcoming dates, and more dates are coming. Now, I read something today, and I saw something today that was pretty nuts and wild. And I want to say that if you were affected by any way of any of these shootings and any of these horrible things that have happened, I do not want to be disrespectful at all. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want you to, take this the wrong way, because I never want to talk about any kind of conspiracy when it comes to a shooting. Okay. And you guys know where I stand on this because I spoke about it the last time. But I came across something which I found was interesting, and it might just be a coincidence, and maybe it is, because I can't imagine this not being just a coincidence. But I found out that a gentleman who was shot and killed, rest his soul. He was a police officer in Buffalo, in the shooting in Buffalo. He was a brilliant, genius who basically invented an engine that runs on water. Now, there was another man who came up with a engine that ran on water. And I believe, if my memory's right, and I think you could look this up, I believe he was in a diner eating. And as he was eating, he started to choke, and he started to say, "They killed me." Like, in other words, he was poisoned. And I think his last words were, "They killed me." And then he died there. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination, am I saying that this was a conspiracy to kill this cop in Buffalo so all those people got, I would never say that. So don't say that. And if you guys know, I was in Buffalo, and I really felt the pain in that area, and the people that came out were amazing, and I plan to keep going back to Buffalo. But I find it wild, and it's just like that another person that was doing that, loses their life. And it probably is a coincidence because, so many other people got killed. This guy drove hundreds of miles and stuff like that and here's the other thing. You ever notice that they give you an excuse to even talk about something like that? Every fucking tragedy. Is it me, or is every tragedy there happens to be a thing? Can there just be, and I don't mean to be disrespectful or rude, but can there just be when something happens, can it just be like, that's what happened? It's always this fucking thing. It's always something. It's always like, a fucking train could explode, and I'll be like, dude, the conductor of that train's father was the person that did. And it's always going to be some sort of connection. So we need to stop with the conspiracy things. But it's amazing that somebody smart enough and a brilliant person gets taken like that. Somebody that came up with a way. Could you imagine driving your car just on water? Driving an engine on water, a boat on water, anything, a four-wheeler, a jet ski, anything. All you have to put into, there's no gasoline, there's no fumes. All you put into this fucking H2O. I almost said HGH. Yeah, all you do is you inject steroids into your car, and no, H2O, and things are fucking, and this guy was so beyond his brain was so beyond everything else. And this fucking piece of shit takes this guy out, man. And it's like, it's amazing that we have people that can do that. And you're looking at gas prices. I saw some gas prices in some places were $9.90. Some are $7. Where I am, it's $5 or 5 something, going up to 6 real soon. And you're just thinking like, man, if these people can come up with something, man, to put in the car or in any engine with water, oh my God, man. But I believe the guy's last name, the first guy that was in the diner, I want to say his last name was Stanley or something like that. But there was another person to do that. But it just really makes you realize that, like, this is a cop and he's an inventor doing that shit. Don't judge a book, because let's be honest, when you see a cop, or remember you used to call him a town clown or all that stuff. You just, some local cop sitting in his cop car, getting jelly on his fucking badge because he's eating a jelly donut, drinking coffee, doing nothing because nothing goes on. And this guy's sitting there. This guy invented an engine that runs on water, and it was working. I think he was like I don't know if he was on Shark Tank, rest his soul. But it's amazing that you got people like that, and you got minds out there like that, because this is a time where, as crazy as times are, Okay. And times are fucked up. Let's be honest. Times are fucked up. And we'll get to that in a second. But as crazy as times are, we have people like that gentleman who lost his life to that senseless shooting, who came up with an engine that could run on water, like Elon Musk, who's figuring out a way to get the fuck off the planet. And by the time he figures it out, who knows? But we have people in the world and these beautiful, brilliant minds that can do things. And those might be the people that help us, that save us. Getting vaccinations for horrible diseases, man. It's pretty nuts what man has done. So as shitty as times are, because of technology going too far, because of lack of privacy with social media, because the desire to be famous and the desire of celebrity, the desire of being known and getting attention, which you have availability for now, which you didn't have the availability to do back then. Okay. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you needed to be a huge celebrity to be on magazines or to be out in public and be seen. Now you need a fucking computer or an iPhone, and you could go into Walmart and fucking put baskets on people's heads and get 1 million views, because that's how dumbed down things are. So yes, times are fucked up, but there's also brilliant minds out there that can create and create and create. So I guess it's a double-edged sword. It is a double-edged sword. I'm talking by myself into a camera, into a microphone, looking at a laptop right now as we speak. And there's no feedback. I don't know who's listening to this. I don't know when you're going to listen to this. I don't know what the fuck is going on as far as you listening to this right now. But I know that eventually you listening to me right now are going to listen to this. And that's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I guess people, I don't know. I guess I consider myself not a crazy lunatic spewing awful shit, but the fact that those people can do that is a little wild, And speaking of wild, look at it like this. The monkeypox now, the fucking monkeypox with those half ping pong balls, whatever the fuck, the most horrible thing. I don't know if you saw pictures, don't. But the monkeypox now, they're saying, is in phase 2 of progression and going to be some sort of issue. There's going to be some sort of, I don't know, outbreak, or it said, watch when you travel. It said, don't fuck with animals alive or dead. First of all, who's fucking with a dead animal? Who's going to be driving it? But no, pull over. No, it's a dead fox. Let me fucking play with it for a little while, rub it on my arms, and then we'll get back in. I mean, who's doing that? But like the fact that they have to say that means this monkeypox shit is coming. And I got to tell you something, man, that's one I can't handle. If I take pictures, look at pictures of the monkeypox and tell me that's some shit you could handle. And guess what? There's going to be a conspiracy about that. Did you know the first person who broke out with monkeypox in New York, father ran the zoo and the monkeys didn't like him? They think this was a fucking some sort of, everything that happens in our country right now, there's some sort of link to some conspiracy, everything. An old lady fell in front of a truck. Did you know that old lady that fell in front of a truck, her great grandfather owned a truck the same color, and he cursed trucks? And then he said to anybody in his family that if you ever get hit by a truck, it's because you did the wrong. It's like, what? Can somebody just fucking get hit by a truck? God forbid. But speaking of, guys, I know I talked about this before. Okay. I talked about this before, but if you guys watched my Instagram, you saw this. I'm not even joking around, and I'm not trying to be funny. I really might ask people. I've never in my life got into any sort of political protest. If you guys know me, you probably know that I'm the last person to start a petition. I don't think you could be like, yeah, who started that petition? Yeah, you know, Paul Virzi, the comedian. Yeah, he was the one running around with a clipboard signing names up. That is so opposite and foreign of anything that I would do or anything that I'm about. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that's not me. I'm not one of these like, we're going to go out there and fucking get our markers and our white signs and we're going to fucking write shit down. And that's just not me. I look out the window and I go, what the fuck's going on? All of you suck. Get out of the fucking way. I got to go to lunch. That's who I am. If that means that I don't care enough, then you could say that. If that means that, how are you going to get change if you do that? All right. I mind my business and I don't do shit like that. And I'm sure that there are causes that are good to do that for, but I'm going to tell you a cause that's really good to do it. These bicycles, guys. Now, I've talked about and I've joked, and it's a joke, so I don't want to be a suspect. I said if I was ever a serial killer, it would be against people on bikes. Now, I know I've had this happen the last time I said it, and people that ride bikes wrote nasty things to me. Guess what? You could write nasty things all you want. Go fuck yourself, and I don't care if I lose you as a listener. You understand me? If you are one of these people that put on your fucking outfit and you go and you meet other bike riders, and you do it normal, like on a path or where it's only bikes, God bless you. Have a good day. Enjoy the day. Get exercise and enjoy riding your bike. But if you are one of these disgusting, arrogant, stupid pieces of shit who know the law is on your side and you're going to ride a 10-speed in the middle of a street when there's a double yellow line and cars behind you and people trying to get around where people can be killed because they're actually in a vehicle that's moving fast and you're sitting there with you and your 4 buddies, okay, and your fucking dumb hats, fuck you. I was sitting in traffic and I'm going, what's going on? I don't see anything up there. And there were 4 or 5 cyclists staying in the middle of the street while cars were waiting to go. And what happens is cars want to go around and another car wants to go around the other side and it causes accidents. I'm about to be like, look, I don't care if people want to ride bikes. I get that. But let's start something where if there's not a bike lane, you either have the town build a fucking bike lane or tell these fucking lunatics to get the fuck off the road. So that's my fucking petition. Okay. And don't write into the show. Don't write into my show and say, well, Paul, we need to fuck you and your stupid fucking bike and your dumb exercise. Go somewhere where bike riders go. Okay. Not where there's SUVs and babies strapped in, you fucking assholes. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. If it's going to be between me or you, you're fucking dead. All right. If I got my kids in the car and you're in the fucking thing and a car's about to hit me or something because of you, I'm fucking going into you or I'm staying the fuck there. Okay. So your fucking back tire will get hit. You'll fly into the fucking reservoir. I don't give a shit. Okay. I don't give a shit. And that is not a threat. It's just, if it's between the life of me and my children or you on a bike, you're fucking going to splatter like a mosquito on somebody's fucking windshield. And I hate to say that, but it's just like, too many people have swerved and got into accidents because some asshole doesn't fucking know to go to a fucking bike park or a trail. Oh my God, these people are the worst. I'm sorry. I've talked about it before on the show, so I'm not going to continue to talk about it. But dude, it's really dangerous and not cool. It's really dangerous, you know, to stay there. And I'm talking about like on a busy, windy road where cars are trying to go around. There's no path for these people and other cars are coming at you. And then there's these bikes there. It's just not a safe situation for anybody, including the people on the bikes. Now, you have some people on bikes who are super cool. And when they see or hear a car, they move over and they're fucking cool, or they'll tell you to go around. They're like really cool. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the arrogant pieces of shit who know who they are. Well, the law's on our side. So, you know, anyway, I didn't even want to get mad today. I'm kind of in a good mood and I'm relaxing at home. You know, things are going well. I just, you know, I thought about that and I was sitting in traffic and I was like, again, it must be addressed. It must be addressed. And for the love of God, I don't understand how the law is on their side. The law should not be on their side. The law should state if you are in the middle of the fucking street and there's a double yellow line and a car is coming, you got fucking 10 seconds to move over. And if you don't, you're flying into a tree. That's what it should say. And there should be an actual picture of somebody flying into a tree with like, bang, ow, like in the comic books, bang, ow. The fucking bicycle is twisted up like fucking, something. And it just says like, this is what'll happen. Oh, there's going to be some hate mail on this one. Good. Fuck you. Bring it. I'm going to have people screen it. How about that? Write your dumb shit. If you're a bicyclist mad, we're not even going to see it. So waste your fucking time writing it. I'm going to be like, look, anybody that writes something, unless they're a cool bike rider, anything else, they're going to just get it off. So we're not even going to see it. So please write your dumb shit and waste your time. Write your dumb shit and waste your time thinking that me or my wife or anybody are going to put our children in danger because it's a nice day on Sunday. And you got a fucking new pair of fucking, what did Joe Bartnick say? Dressed like Spider-Man. You got a new pair of spandex pants that you want to fuck from Dick's Sporting Goods you want to try out. So you're going to be sitting there in front of SUVs that are going trying to go 60 miles an hour, the speed limit. But we all got to wait because you got new spandex pants. Fucking dope. Go to a park. I like bike riders too. If you ride a bike and you fucking want to go and get exercise, go do it where they do it with bikes. Go to a trail, mountain bikes. Go to a trail. You don't see people on mountain bikes doing it that much. No, because they get it. They fucking get it. All right. I didn't want to talk about this. I just got upset. And, but now there's a lot of talks going on right now about how UFOs are real and there's going to be documentation for it. And it's like, can we be honest for a second? Were you one of these people that was that naive to think UFOs don't exist? Like these people that are like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's like, that's not crazy, man. It's too many people have seen them. Too many things have happened. My father saw one in 1973. And if you guys ever met my father, you would know 1000% that it's true, because my father used to think anybody saying they saw a UFO was a psychopath, crazy hillbilly looking for attention. And they were absolutely lying and it was bullshit. And then my father saw some shit in 1973 that he told me to this day he wishes he never saw. So, I just don't understand like what the outrage or people are going to be freaking out. No, they're not. No, they're not. We like we've talked about this too, movies and all the different things. But until an alien actually walks off a ship and we talk to them, that's going to be the difference. Now that could be a little bit of a panic. All right, just hear me out on this. That could be a little bit of a panic. United States government comes out and says, hey, there's UFOs. We've had many commercial airline pilots see them. We've had military pilots see them. There are unexplained, flying objects in the air that are not from this world. And we can prove, like we have proof of that. Okay, fine. I don't think there's going to be a uproar. Okay. But if the United States government said there are real aliens, I'm not talking about illegal aliens. I'm talking about there are aliens from other planets that are out there walking among us disguised as humans, that would be a little troublesome, because we would be looking at every single person we talk to up and down a little different, that would put a whole new meaning to people with like severe, like if somebody had a disability or somebody had some sort of like mental disability and they were talking weird or funny, you'd be like, no, they don't have a disability, dude. That dude's from fucking Jupiter. That dude, no, there's no disability. That's a fucking alien, dude. That guy's got a human shell over him. But if you cut that guy open, that guy's an alien. That would make it would make things funny. Could you imagine going on blind dates? You're going on a blind date, right? and you're sitting across from her or him, and you're just like, you know, so how was your day today? And they just start saying some wild shit, you know? They're just like looking at a piece of fruit going, this thing tastes really funny. And they're staring at it. And they're like, sorry, I don't really do this. I don't really know what's going on. I'm never out. In your mind, you're going to be like, wait a minute. The US government just said there's aliens out here and this dude's freaking out over a piece of fucking apple. Like, this guy's an alien. That would be wild. I'll be honest with you. I can honestly say that I wouldn't have full-fledged panic, but I would be like, I would definitely be worried or more concerned if the government said that. Not running in the streets looting shit panicked, because that's different. All right, people that just run through the streets and start looting shit for anything, it's almost an excuse to grab free shit. I'm not talking about panic in that way. That, by the way, how funny and ridiculous is the idea of like people were running through the streets screaming, panicking over news? You know, like like when the Japanese people saw Godzilla and they were running. Like, I'm not going to do that. But if I found out that there were real life aliens among us, that would fuck me up for a minute. And I think you're lying if you said it wouldn't. You know, like if you knew that there were aliens on Earth, like legit, that we're interacting with all the time and we don't know who it is. Some could be your friend. Imagine that. Imagine you had a friend that was just awkward and weird for 20 years. And you're like, oh my God, I never saw pictures of his family. This all makes sense. You try to have an intervention. You're going, dude, come on, man. Where are you from? He's like, what are you talking about, man? I'm from here. You're like, nah, come on, man. Come on. You start like picking on him about sports arguments they had. Come on, man. You said Michael Jordan wasn't the best ever. Dude, where are you from? Where are you from? That would freak me out. There's very few things in the world that would make me like a full on, like really scared and like have dreams like that. But if I found out that there were aliens on Earth and like they could be among us, that would I would probably have nightmares and be like, what, dude, what's going on? And then they'd find a conspiracy with that. There'd be, the reason is because fucking Ronald Reagan had a dream and he's, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know, guys. This show is going off the rails. I'm a little punch drunk. I'm a little tired here. You guys listening to episode 541. Are aliens here? You guys can write in about that. That one we won't. We won't screen. If you guys think aliens are here, or how about this? I know this is a long shot. If you've come across an alien, if you come across something that you don't think was from this world, I had one thing happen one time. I'll tell you guys a story, and then I will get into a couple of the animals you guys said you would purchase or you would have if you could have one that would be like all good. So anyway, I was door knocking. I was knocking doors in Queens and Manhattan, selling phone, cable, internet in my early 20s. Okay. And I would knock on your door at dinner time. And I would talk about the fiber optics that we installed, and we're going to combine your bill, and it's going to be phone, cable, high-speed modem, making everything condense one bill. It was like when these packages first started coming about, and this was like, I was there from like 2000 to 2003. You know, obviously brutal through 9/11 and all that stuff, but I became a really good door knocker. The short of it is, I dropped out of college to go into sales so I can have a job that let me live while I pursued and my dream of stand-up, which was what there was no safety net. There was no backup plan. There was no other options. It was going to be stand-up, but I needed to make money. So I was like, I'm going to drop out of college. I'm going to get this job. My brother worked at this company and he was like, look, they're always looking for account managers, they call them salespeople, but it's door to door. Your base salary is like 30 grand. There's really not much money, but if you could go out there door to door and make a killing, you could make some money. Now I'm 21 years old. I drop out of college. I go work down in the city so I could get on stage at night. And I was all right at it, but like, you know, it started to get to the point where I'm 21. I made $51,000, but I'm about to be fired because I was never hitting my quota. They called me in and they just gave me some unrealistic goal to not get fired. They go, Paul, you're not doing much. Your numbers are terrible. Look, if you don't get this amount of units in a month, you're fired. And I remember I went out. No, I'm sorry. Okay, check this out. They said, if you don't get 41 units in a week, you're fired. That number was impossible. They knew I wasn't going to get 41 units. Now, if you sold a package, a gold package, it was phone, cable, and internet. It was phone, cable, internet. It was 3 units. So the gold was 3 units. Platinum was an extra phone line. It was 4 units. Okay. Now I had Monday through Friday to get 41 units or I'm fired. Nobody got 41. Nobody comes close. But I did get like 27 units. And they call me in the office and I'm going, all right, they want to fire me. And they go, wow. They go, you crushed everybody else. Nobody came close to 27. You got 27. We're going to keep you on. Keep it up. And then I went out and I got like 30 something. And then I started fucking just dominating because I'm competitive. I want to win. And I'm like, look, I'm making money. I'm doing stand-up, but I'm not really in it yet. I'm doing bringer shows. I'm doing produced shows. I'm doing contests, but I'm not like, you know, one of the major players in comedy. So I need to keep this job, make money as I do it. So I start crushing it. Then I become a sales supervisor with a team under me. And I got people in their 40s under me. I'm 22, 23 years old. Right. But I went door knock. I digress. Let me get back to what I was saying. So I knocked on a door one time and I saw a lot of shit. I saw people fucked up looking. I saw people that had fucking weird animals. One guy just dedicated his entire fucking apartment in Queens to like a zoo. He had tanks with lizards. I saw a fucking rooster and a chicken run by. I saw all kinds of wild shit. And I was just like, one time I opened the door, somebody opened the door and it smelled like a fucking meth lab. It smelled like drugs. It was all fucking gross. It got me sick the rest of the day. I can almost smell it now. Horrible. You know, then you would have people invite you in, super sweet. Why don't you come in, eat, have something to drink? You know, then there would be, you know, then I remember like wild shit happened. One woman was like into me and like her kids were in the other room and she's just like talking to me. And I was just like, what's happening here? You know, it was like some wild shit. So, you know, and there would be, get the fuck out of here. I said, no, you come back here. You know, there would be that. I remember this one guy would just laugh. He would just laugh at them. Like somebody would be yelling. And this dude, Brian, would just start laughing as they're yelling, you keep laughing, I'm coming down. And he would just laugh at him. It was really funny. We did little things to entertain us, you know. I remember one time, I'll tell you guys a story. I'm with my friend and we're just talking. And at the door, and I go, hey, man, yeah, you know, phone, cable, internet. And the guy was just like, you know, and the house was dirty and nasty. I'd be like, dude, this place is a shithole, dude. What are you doing in this place? You know, it would be like, huh? And I'd be like, yeah, dude, what are you, this place is a debacle, dude. Look at this shit, you know? And like, my friend would be like, just laughing, you know? We'd be like going over like phone, like we'd be like, oh yeah, so you get HBO and you'd be talking and like just fart really loud as you're doing it and totally ignore it. And they would just, and like to make the other person laugh, we would just like do like dumb shit like that just to like entertain ourselves. And we really experienced a lot. And I learned a lot. And I learned how to talk to people. And I learned the kindness of people. You knock on somebody's door in New York City at dinner time and try to get money from them. And you're going to learn a lot about people. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself and all kinds of things like that. Then there were times where I would be sad because you would open and somebody like my grandmother would open. rest their souls. But like, some old woman would answer and, she's alone and she doesn't know and she's confused and you don't want to sell something just to sell it. So they would be like, let me call my grandson or let me call so-and-so. And like, you would try to explain. And sometimes they would be like, look, I know it's a better deal, but my grandmother or my mother just, they don't really understand what's going on. It's probably just easier to keep the regular system that they have. And that was fine. I remember one time there was another sad thing that happened. I'm walking. It was a beautiful sunny day. What we would do is we would show up to the office around 11, have some meetings. After the meetings, you go to lunch. Then after lunch, you'd get in your car and you go to the field, the neighborhood you were in. And that's where you would knock doors. And you were supposed to leave at like 5, 6, 7 at night. Nobody stayed till 7. I did sometimes. I would stay late and just that's where I'd make all my units. When I was really tired and wanted to go home, I would knock 10 more doors and that's when I would make my money and get it. Kind of life, right? That's kind of life. You're tired. You want to go home. You don't want to fucking do anything. You knock 10 more doors. You work a little harder. You don't want to do push-ups. You do a couple more. You don't want to. It's the same thing in life. I know it sounds corny, but it's a sunny day. I'm in Queens. I see a lovely old woman outside. I would say she's in her 70s. And I walk in and I go, hey, ma'am, how you doing? How many televisions do you have in the house? Like just because we laid the fiber optics on the block and you would just, it's funny too. They gave us a hard hat. No reason for a hard hat. I'm not even joking. I wore like an RCN shirt. I wore a hard hat. I had a clipboard with the paperwork and a pen. And we go, yeah, you see that thing up there? Like that, no fucking reason to have a hard hat. And I said to this lady, like, yeah, we do phone, cable, internet. And, and she's like, oh, okay. And I go, do you have, how many TVs do you have? And she goes, oh, we have 27. And I go, really? Yeah, we got 27 TVs. We got everything. Are you interested? And I'm going, oh my God, I'm about to make a fucking killing. I'm gonna sell 27 gold packages and fucking break a company record that's never gonna be touched. In my mind, I'm going, oh my God, 27, dude. How many computers? This is gonna be with 20 something times 3. I'm gonna do my whole year today. And then this dude comes out and he goes, sorry, man, my mom, she's got Alzheimer's. And I'm going, oh shit. And then of course I felt bad. Of course, once I realized, and I should have realized, like it's an apartment in Queens. Like who would have 27, like some OCD TV hoarder? Nobody's going to have 27 TVs, but you would see stuff like that. But one time, something very strange happened. I knocked on the door and somebody, dude, whatever. And this will all tie back into the alien shit. But I'm not saying this is an alien. I'm just saying it'll tie back. And I go, hey, yeah, my name is Paul. I'm with RCN, phone, cable, internet outside. There's phone, cable, internet. We put new fiber optics. We could combine your bill into one, because some people, and here's the crazy thing. Some people were spending $100 on their AT&T phone bill. They were spending, $70 on their cable bill. So that's $170 right there. Then they'd have like dial up, like AOLs, like, so we would cut that in half and give you like HBOs. It was a really good deal, but I just needed to get somebody there and I could talk and I'm like, I'm a nice guy. So I would try to hopefully get somebody talking and really tell them and be like, hey, I'm really going to help you. It's like, that's the thing. We weren't fucking anybody. You're going to get a faster internet and like all the movie channels, like all the HBOs and phone and everything together. I just needed to get you to talk. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm a 21, 22, 23-year-old kid in the city doing this shit. And one guy goes, the guy goes, no, not interested. No. And I go, all right. And I go, but listen, I just wanted to tell you one more thing. And dude, I'm not making this up for my podcast. This was wild. The dude opens the door and shows his face. And he goes, I said no. And dude, he said it. He looked like a fucking creature from Lord of the Rings with like fucking his eyes, like bumps on his dude. This dude did not look, I'm not even joking, man. This was like the closest to some sort of like science fiction, like Star Trek fucking bumps on head, eyes discolored, weird. This was like, and I remember going, okay. Like I didn't want it. I was praying to God he closed the door because I'm not going into that creature's house. Lord knows what's going to happen in there. But you'd have shit like that happen. You'd have shit like that happen. And I told the story once before where I said, one time I actually felt bad, but the woman was just mean. She was upset, but I understand why. This woman comes to the door, and I mentioned this before. She was dressed nice. You know, she had jeans and a sweater and a turtleneck, and she looked very nice. And she opened the door, and half of her face was like, you know, you could see like it's a pretty woman, and the other half was just burned, melted, burned. And you could tell she was just fucking, it broke her. She was kind of rude, quick. And I was just quick to accept the no because it threw me. You know, I was a young dude and like I feel bad, but like, so that's the thing about knocking doors, man. Knocking doors was a really amazing experience. And anybody who, that's why Mark Cuban always loves talking to door knockers on Shark Tank. When you're knocking doors, you're knocking to eat. You're knocking to fucking live. And it puts all of your sales experience, all of your sales, you know, chops, all of the skills that you have and have learned in sales is magnified and at the forefront because it's like a do or die in that moment, at least, right? Somebody answers the door. You're not going to phone it in. You're there because you know as soon as they answer the door and you're talking, there's a chance for money. There's a chance to fucking keep some job security, you know, medical benefits, all kinds of shit like that. So it's not like cold calling. If you cold call, it's like, no, all right. So that's why people are never going to be as sharp on the phone. You can be good at sales on the phone, but nothing is going to be like when it's like live. You know, it's probably, you know, it's I guess I don't know why Top Gun just came to my mind, but I imagine when you're in the air doing dog fighting, you know, actually, this is a good analogy. You're in the air and you're doing dog fighting with your team and your guys. Oh, locked, you're dead, but you're not really dead. You go back, right? You do push-ups. Oh, you lost. Oh, you got knocked out. You're up there in a dog fight against a plane from another country that wants to fucking kill you. I think that takes it to another level. It's the same thing with me, telemarketing or being in front of somebody. Because they hang up, you're like, another number. It's like that with a house, but you're like, no, I might only get 20 door open today. You could cold call fucking 300. You may only get 15 doors that open that day. So you got to be sharp on that. And it was nuts because picture me, 21 years old, just starting to get serious, wanting to get into stand-up comedy, 22 years old. And then all of a sudden I have a team of 40-year-olds under me. I had grown men that were going home to family, and I'm calling meetings with them. And I was young and experienced, so I would give this rah-rah meeting, and then I'd get called out on shit. We had this Irish guy, Steve, and he would just go, Paul, you say the same thing. We know, we knock, we get the same meeting every, and he was right. He was right. I was a fucking 20-some-year-old kid. You know what? You're not 10 more doors. You're not 10 more doors. You're going to, you know, this stupid shit. Like I'm fucking, you know, Ben Affleck in Boiler Room, like an asshole thinking I was cool. I remember one guy, remember Ben Affleck goes, yeah, it's a Ferrari. And he throws the keys and he goes, what's up? One of the other supervisors did that with like a leased fucking BMW 3. Car's like fucking $300 a month, like a lease. And he goes, guys, yeah, this is BMW 3. What's up? And he threw it on there. And like, I'm thinking like, everyone's like, dude, anybody could, like, if you have good credit, I could get that car. But no, it was pretty cool and unique. And then I'm trying to think, I don't even know if I ended up getting fired or leaving. I'm trying to think what happened. I was there for so long. And I think the company just started changing. And I think it was just, that was it. I think I might have left on my own terms. I don't know if I got fired there. I don't remember the sit down saying like, you're done. I don't think so. I think I just let it run its course, knew when it was over, and then just fucking got out of there. But, yeah. So I'm not saying that guy was an alien, but, I would say if there are species amongst us which can't be explained, that guy was definitely one of them. Speaking of other species, I asked a question on TVE. Last week, and I said, if you can have an animal under the best circumstances whatsoever, you're going to be able to feed it what it needs. It will be in an environment which is conducive. It like all the best scenario. What would you get? And I'll give you guys a couple. One person said a giraffe. Shit, one person said a giraffe. I gotta take this. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. That was a call from my manager. I had to take that. Somebody said they would, if they could get any animal under the best circumstances, it would be a giraffe. I thought of that one too, but I just feel like with that neck. By the way, here's a fun fact about giraffe. A giraffe's neck grew and evolved higher because they used to ram each other's heads or something like that. I'm probably screwing that up, but back in the day, many years ago, their necks were not as long. And because of like ramming their head, it got higher. That's what I read. Don't know if that's true. Another person said that you can domesticate and really have a great relationship with your pet if it's a raccoon. If you get a raccoon from a cub, a baby, and you raise it, I heard he was saying that they're hilarious and fun and they're good. I don't know. That's a tough sell though. When company comes over, and friends and family, you're just sitting around as fucking, there's a raccoon that just clearly looks like it should be in your backyard. But those were a couple that I thought those were interesting because it's like, raccoons could walk on 2 feet. They could grab shit with one hand. That would be kind of dope if you just trained your raccoon. Could you imagine if you called your buddy over to watch the game and you were just like, hey, fucking, I'm going to call my raccoon to get us some drinks. So you're just like, yeah, dude, you trained a raccoon to go to the fridge, grab a can, walk out, hand it, come back in, and then just go in its bed. That would be gangster. I still say an exotic cat, like I said, just because that's it. But I thought a giraffe and a raccoon were pretty funny ones because I think the visual of that. Do you imagine going in somebody's backyard, seeing a fucking giraffe just standing there, just throwing it apples? Just the thing's head comes down, you're petting it, it's got that chewing thing or whatever. Man, a giraffe would be gangster. And the one that I said was I talked about this in my stand-up. I would like an endangered dolphin. A dolphin just have a pool like the size of 4 Olympic-sized pool, just like there's so much land where it's like it's almost in the ocean. And it just takes you for rides, wherever it needs to be at night. You put it at night. It's got unlimited food. Like I said, the best circumstances. Dude, a dolphin would be a gangster pet. And I'm talking like pet, like jump on its back, ride around the thing. Like, I mean, that could be good. That could be real dope. Because it's better than, anybody else's pet, right? You have a pet dolphin. Doesn't get more gangster than that shit. Chicago. I'm going to Rosemont Zanies. July 22nd and 23rd. Tickets are already on sale and people are already buying tickets for that show. San Diego, California. I am going to the American Comedy Company this June 30th through July 2nd. I will be in San Diego, California. Get tickets to that. Those tickets are going. Cannot wait to go to that club. Heard amazing things about that club. So let's bang that out. And we should have a great time over there. And then Michigan. I'll be going to Michigan in July. And you could get all of those dates. And I'll actually be at a theater there. In what's the name of the place? Is it Holland, Michigan? I will be there. You could get all the tickets to those shows at paulvirzi.com. That's right, paulvirzi.com. Check out the Anything Better podcast that I co-host with Bill Burr. You could check out my YouTube channel. People are subscribing to that. So please do that as well. And all of the places that you could see me, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, please engage, enjoy it, check out the clips. And I want to thank everybody for listening to the Virzi Effect podcast. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the Virzi Effect podcast, downloads it. Please get the Virzi Effect podcast everywhere you get your podcasts. Okay. iTunes, fucking Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you get Anything Better, wherever you go. Shout out to All Things Comedy for producing the show and for all the listeners. And I got to tell you, man, I'm getting more and more TVE listeners coming out to see me live. I always had TVE listeners here and there, but now I'm getting a lot of people that not only listen to Anything Better, but they listen to TVE. They want to hear me spewing and talking dumb shit. Okay, by myself, and I really appreciate that. I love those fans. The merchandise for Anything Better is coming out too, but it's weird because there's a hoodie involved, and we don't want to drop the hoodie in the heart of the summer, so we're still doing some designs to some stuff, and then we're gonna probably drop it, but because I didn't want to just drop a T-shirt. You know, I don't want to just be like, I get a T-shirt. I want to do the T-shirt and the hoodie and all that. So maybe when the weather, maybe like right around when the kids go back to school, end of August, beginning of September, we'll drop that. But we are doing that as well. And we're designing that shit too. So I would say, hey, if you guys have any design ideas, send them, but I can't fucking pay everybody. But, TVE shirts, if you guys do have any ideas and you want us to take a look, obviously I'll take a look at that. I don't know why I just did that with my hand. Like I was some fucking wizard. What do we have any movie reviews? Do not see any other movies. I finished Stranger Things, and I got to tell you, fuck, I'm not liking it, man. Stranger Things is I don't know, man. I watched the very last one with how the villain came about to be the villain, and I mean the kills are gangster. Brutal. Like I said, spoiler alert, the way the people are getting killed is pretty wild. Then you just found out the origin of the story of the bad guy. So that came about. But it's just, I mean, come on, man. It's getting crazy. It's, civilians landing planes in the snow in Russia. I mean, it's getting a lot, guys. It's getting a lot. Now, I know what you're saying, Paul. Don't you think it was a lot when a big slime monster was in the middle of the mall? I don't know. I'm hoping the same thing doesn't happen with Yellowstone. I'm hoping that these shows that you love and you watch know when to finish. Ozark at least finished. I didn't love the way Ozark finished, but it finished. It was done. Didn't love how it ended, but I thought it was good. It was good, but like, here's a question. When's the last time you were blown away by the ending? And don't say Game of Thrones, because everybody said Game of Thrones, fell off at the end, leaving fucking Starbucks and fucking Poland Spring bottles on the set during a scene. I mean, what are we doing here? Oh my God. Game of Thrones is supposed to be set in those times with dragons flying and shit. And you just see a Starbucks co with the name fucking Mike on it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I guess you could say Sopranos ending if we're talking endings. I know you guys think I'm nuts. I have not seen Breaking Bad. I haven't. I heard they ended that one good. Sopranos. At first, I thought it was brilliant. Then I got angry when I realized it was about a fat gangster in New Jersey. Um, James Gandolfini, rest his soul. I'm talking about his character, Tony Soprano. That ended in it, but I mean, an ending needs to just be like Top Gun Maverick. People walk out, tears in their eyes. You know, you got those chills, you're proud, you feel like you can do it. All of those things that the end of a show or a movie give you. I'll tell you one, the end of Mandalorian, when Luke Skywalker showed up on the ship and started fucking people up with the saber, dude, that was nuts. I know but that was nuts. Okay. The end of the movie Gladiator with Russell Crowe. Come on, man. Come on. The end of Rudy. Come on. The end of Rocky. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you could change, Sylvester Stallone, world peace. You know, anytime a hero ends up walking back in his hometown at the end with his collar up and his head down, makes for a good ending. Throw the right music in that, makes for a good ending. But I am a little disappointed with some of the shows that I invested so much time in. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they made a really good point about Yellowstone. Now, if you haven't watched Yellowstone, spoiler alert, okay, you could fast forward. Yellowstone is basically about the Dutton Ranch, which has been in the family for 100 years. Kevin Costner, it's his family's thing. And there's all these characters and all kinds of stuff and all kinds of drama and violence. And the Native Americans trying to get their land back, people trying to build on the land, people are dying. It's all kinds of stuff. People get set up to be killed and all that. And they do show the bunkhouse where the cowboys who, you know, herd the cattle and do all that stuff. But they do waste a lot of time on certain characters in Yellowstone, particularly some of the cowboys that are not doing a good job as a cowboy. This one character, Jimmy, and he's not doing good. They don't know if he's going to make it, so they send him to a ranch where he's going to make it and become good. If he doesn't, and then it kind of just goes to that. Then he ends up getting a girl and leaving, and a lot of time is spent on that. So I'm wondering, does he come back and does it mean something? Or is this just because the people that made the show are into fucking cowboys and horses and all kinds of shit like that? I don't know. But there needs to be a show where the fat is cut out. Cut out. No fat. You want to know why Goodfellas was one of the best movies ever? Because every single fucking scene of Goodfellas is epic, means something. There's no fat. It's connected. It's perfect. You get it. It's a quick watch. Even though it's a long movie, it's amazing. That's what it is. I will create a show, God willing, if I get the opportunity, where I can try to do something like that. And I was told, your boy, Paul Virzi, was told that my special coming out from people who saw it, and this is a little bit of a teaser, but I'll give it to you because I love you. I had a legendary comedian that I don't really know too well reach out after seeing a screener of it. And he's a legend. And he said, dude, great job. I had a Hollywood director going, dude, I loved your first one. This one's another level. This one's amazing. Made me feel good. I had my publicist, who is also the publicist of many great legendary comedians, say, I watched it. It went fast and it was fantastic. So guys, I don't want to jump the gun and I don't want to talk shit. Those are things that are dreams to me, and I'm being told, and I'm hoping that you feel the same way. Now, maybe you won't, but I'll tell you this. One of my favorite compliments about my new special, which is coming this month, was, man, it goes fast. So take that. Are you excited? I hope so. Special is not short. It is a 64-minute special with no movie. There's no movie before it. There's no shit after it. It's just the opening intro and then the show. So there you have that. So that's it. You know, I mean, I would get into some sports stuff. I will tell you this. I'm going to say this on the Anything Better podcast too, but I will tell you guys here. I believe that my New York Football Giants, that made me blurry. Sorry. My New York Football Giants are going to be really good because they're going to be healthy and they put the pieces together. Now, I said this last year and I was wrong, but I think with no injuries and everybody, all our stars pretty much coming back, gaining some people, I think we are going to have a monster year. And the New York Yankees have won 40 games. They are going to have a monster year. And they're reminding me of the 98 Yankees. I don't want to jump the gun. And the Knicks are the Knicks. And I'll be delusional about who goes to the Knicks. As always, you know, you guys know the joke. Steph Curry, they saw him in New York. I think he's taking a meeting. I'm nuts. But you guys are fantastic. And the one thing that's amazing about doing the Virzi effect is the fans that listen to my show and the people that come out, you never realize who your fans are going to be. And I'll just say this. Somebody listening to this right now is a doctor, is a lawyer. I've had a neurosurgeon, a fucking brain surgeon. This man opens your fucking brain and cuts into it and does shit, and he listens to me. Pilots, Air Force pilots and commercial pilots alike, lawyers, old men, young men, older women, younger women. It's fucking amazing. So I thank you. And I thank you for still listening, because I'm sure along the way I have said something that made you disagree with me, maybe made you question listening anymore or liking me anymore. And you're still here. Well, I'm sure some of you, some packed their fucking bags and said, I'm out. But if you're one of the people that I said, thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for listening, and thank you for telling people. And I'm not going nowhere. It's just going to get bigger. It's going to get better. And like I said, man, it's, you know, the beautiful thing about having people listen to you, and the beautiful thing that I hear from my podcast and myself, is that I may disagree with you, but you seem logical and genuine, and I'll listen to that. And that's all you could ask for, right? You could get into an argument with somebody about the worst things to argue with people about: abortion, guns, religion, politics. But if you and that person have mutual respect for each other and you could talk normally, like we always say, now that doesn't happen a lot, but that's what I want this podcast to be. I want this podcast to be, you know, after those shootings, I talked about making an adjustment. I didn't say banning guns. I didn't say take guns. Can we just look, and can we just see what we could do to make somebody who's mentally ill not get that particular gun that easily? Can we do something that can save a life? Can something be done because of current plan? That's a normal, logical thing to say. And, you know, it's the same thing with all other things. Let's just see to make things better. Because at the end of the day, if you don't want to make things better, you just want to be right, it's a wrap. Oh, in life, in your life, you got to ask yourself that. I know it sounds corny. Pride cometh before the fall. Okay. If your pride is so great, and your pride is this and that, your pride is going to make you, you know, a certain way, even though like what really should happen and what you might think could happen or be better, but you're like, oh, I can't be wrong. That's going to kill you. And in my opinion, folks, I mean, a lot of things did, but in my opinion, our former president, Donald Trump, I think that was a little bit of an issue, you know? And again, this is not if you like Donald Trump or you don't. This is, again, that's irrelevant. And I've said that many times. But You have to be realistic and logical, right? No humility, can't be wrong, too much pride, saying something that will kill you. That will kill you. And I said many times, that's when you watch mob movies, when it's like that, and somebody's eventually, it's like, just fuck it. So, certain things are what they are. I had somebody in Atlanta get upset with me. I'm going to give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I had somebody in Atlanta get mad at me. I was on stage. I forgot what show this was. This was either the second or there was a guy in Atlanta, and I just was making fun of Joe Biden, man. I was making fun of Biden. I was making fun of his speeches. I was making fun of how old he was. And there was some dude there, and he was clearly, he didn't like yell anything out about it, but other people saw this dude getting angry. And he did say one thing, Trump was no better. But then he started doing shit with his hands, started clenching his hands, started looking at his wife, started getting really, really upset. But didn't do that if I made fun of Trump or like when I talked about that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so that's what we're up against, and that's what you're dealing with, and that's why things are that's why things are fucked up. But it was really unnerving because I was going, oh fuck, dude. I hope this Will Smith jump on stage shit, because I'm always like, somebody jumps on stage, I'm gonna handle my business. I'm gonna handle myself. I don't care if they act like they're just coming up. They come up on stage, gonna be But listen, the club is alerted. There's people there that know that. There's security up there. But now it's like, is this gonna be a thing where you say some shit about a government official and like, well, I don't agree with that. So, but this dude was, I'm not gonna lie, there was a dude in Atlanta that just was so, I guess, hated Trump so much that when I made fun of how old Biden was, couldn't handle it. It's going to happen. It's the world we live in, man. The world we fucking live in there is not too much gray. And that's a shame, because you should be in the gray a little bit. Everything should be open for discussion, and everybody that's sane, that's what it is too, right? Everybody that's sane has a point. Now, there are people that just don't. Did you see that woman in Starbucks just screaming at the top of her lungs? That's somebody that votes. That is somebody that fucking votes. I'm going to see if I can find it right now. I doubt I can, but I'm going to really look for this. And listen, I'm doing this I could have my producer add this. I could have Andrew Themeles, the Greek freak, add this out when I send this to Los Angeles and he does it. I'm just going to do it in real time because this is a real, I'm not going to do that shit, but hold on. Lady yelling Starbucks, right? Starbucks. Is it TikTok? Is it? Yeah. Yeah. This lady, I'm going to try to show this and see, but like this person votes. Watch this. This person votes. How come there's always a fucking, oh, here. There's always a stupid ad. Come on. Look. Now, okay. Now, that woman votes. That woman votes. That's who we're, that is, I don't know who that person is. The nice thing is that video doesn't show a face. So, but that person votes. And that's scary, man. because that's a grown adult screaming and banging like that. Like that's like an adult version of a child. That is out there, man, in our country right now. People doing that, screaming, thinking she made a difference. She thinks she made a difference. She left and like went home and like said, like, yeah, I had to do that. Like it mattered. Like what? Like you heard people leave when she left. Everyone, shut the fuck, get out of here. Shut the fuck. You know what I mean? Like normal people. So that's when I say normal people, even if they're opposite of you, listen, I may be opposite of you, but I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to why and what you say. And then you should listen to what I say. And then we come together. And that's the thing. That person can't be. That's what's scary. And what's scary is that person has friends that think like them and they all fucking vote. It's wild to me. It is. I think forget fucking gun control. There should be voter control. There should be fucking, you want gun control? Fine. Let's do vote control. Why don't you go in for a fucking background check and be like, you're not fucking voting. How about that? Voter control. I'm serious. When you see a lunatic like that yelling and screaming in a Starbucks like a psychopath, banging on things, a grown adult woman doing that, and that woman could vote, fuck that. Get her into a background check the way you should get a background check for a gun and be like, you know what, you crazy bitch, you ain't voting. You ain't voting because if that behavior, you should not go in and have any say on any government official in this country. Voter control. I mean, that is wild. That is wild. That person could be raising children. Oh, my God. I don't know why I'm getting excited now. See, I'm getting excited. The show should have been over. I plugged my shows. The show should have been over, and I got excited. That's why never close the Virzi effect early. All right. The only thing that makes that woman worse is if she rides 10 speeds on Sunday. Oh, my God. There you go. I just fucking spun it around, put a bow on it. Thank you. I'll be here next week. That was nuts. Yeah, there you go. How about that, dude? Voter control. I'm going to do a bit on that. Don't let any comedian say that they did that because I did that. Thank you guys, man. And I really, really hope to see you guys soon. I hope to see you guys in either Michigan or Chicago area, Rosemont Zanies, or the American Comedy Company in San Diego. All of those tickets are available now, and more tickets and more cities will be coming very soon. So go to paulvirzi.com and get that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We just dropped another, we dropped a stand-up clip on the YouTube. All of these Virzi Effect clips will be on there. I think we're going to put the voter control clip up. I think that'll be a good one. So love you guys, man. Really appreciate you guys wherever you are. If you're up in the air, if you're down in a car, if you're riding Uber, whatever you're doing, man. And Chicago, you guys have showed me so much fucking love last time I was there. Come out to Rosemont and let's have a really good time. And San Diego, California, I hear you guys want me out there. You're excited. So let's get those tickets sold and enjoy the special. It's coming soon. And until then, I will talk to you. This has been TVE 541. Love you.